my presentation will be less about tools. In fact, what I try to bring you into the journey of selling and innovation to a big company. In the early days of Gen AI, that was a year and a half ago. The tool is an AI newsletter, audio newsletter, but the whole idea is trying to show to people how you have to forget about the tools and the tech. When you're speaking to those big companies, you really have to go down to the solution. So my presentation is going to be a story, the story of how this tool was created, and how it came from meeting a client to making a proposition, and really trying to see the hurdles you will have to go through to make sure your tools is really responding to a specific need and the client's culture, which is almost the most important. So
Yes.
I think I will start the presentation, because we don't want to take too much time.
I
Just
am
I hope you.
excited to hear, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure everyone is also
Yeah,
excited.
I'll
I
give
think
away
it's
some. I'll
amazing.
give away. Don't worry. I'll give away some. The workflow will show you the tools I use and things like that. It's not. It's not the hard. It's not the hardest thing that we can do with AI. But I think the journey is important, really, because I see a lot of
Yes,
people
I agree.
that they cannot sell to. So it's difficult to sell AI tools to companies, because
Yeah.
I think most of the time is that we are going into too much technical details, and so that's what I'll try to show.
Awesome.
Just tell me. Oops. On this one. For that one. Here you go. Is it working? Yeah.
Not yet. Oh,
Not yet.
now it is. Yes,
It
it
is. All right.
is.
Great. I have just one slight problem. I'm not seeing my screen.
Okay, take
Okay.
your time.
All right. Oh, here it goes.
While
Is it all
you
right for you
figure it
guys?
out,
Yeah, it is
oh,
okay.
good.
It's good for
Okay,
you?
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
as I was saying, the goal of the presentation is to share the story of how I helped a small client of mine who is specialized in audio ads. How I helped them sell an AI audio newsletter to one of the biggest French banks. I will not go into detailed technical aspects, but I'll be happy to answer question about those aspects at the end of the presentation. So what happened is my client is a small radio ad producer. In fact, they specialize in long format radio ads in the form of interviews. So you would have people. It would be ads at 60 seconds, 90 seconds. It's not your regular 20 or 40-second ads you could hear on the radio. So they are very specialized into creating interviews by experts. So, to give you an example, someone from Google would be interviewed by a journalist, and he would explain how to use Google Ads or things like that. Yeah, so it's a very specific service. It's a small size company. There are only 8 people, but they have 20 years in experience in the field. They're well known in the advertising market in France, and they have a very good relationship with most of the French big advertisers. So it's an interesting client for me, because I can work very closely with them, and they could give me access to basically the top 500 French companies. So it's interesting to be with them. What's important for them is it's really the human. What they sell is human expertise, so they will immediately think of what voice they would be using. So it's a very human-centric business. Every single brief that's coming will the first reflex with who is going to be the best voice to talk about this brand, and who is going to be the best technical person, the person with the best technical and the most expertise to talk about the brand communication needs. So
Hi, excuse
it's,
me for a second.
yeah, go ahead.
We do not see your full screen. Can you please make
Really?
it full screen so we can see
Yeah.
it better? We
So
can
you're not seeing,
see.
wait, you see my notes? That's what you're saying?
No, we see
Oh,
the slides, but it's not full screen.
okay, strange. Okay, I'll get out from here and I'll start again.
Maybe something with the
Yeah,
configuration or
yeah,
the way
maybe,
they
yeah.
show, because we can see
Exactly.
the main one and the
Yeah.
tiny ones on the side.
Okay, that's strange. Okay, I'll get it.
While we try
Okay.
to solve this so everybody can see
Yeah, of
full
course, yeah.
screen, I'm gonna remind all of you that the certificate is coming soon. Everybody's gonna receive the certificate. We want you to have it, to post on LinkedIn, to tag us, and to prove that you learn with the best. And
Okay.
after the fourth presentation, we're gonna share a special form so everybody can get the certificate. So stay tuned, you all. Stay tuned. The certificate is coming soon. We all love a certificate. How you're all enjoying the conference? Leave in the comments while we figure it out to make the screen better for all of you.
Tell me if it's better this way.
Let's check. Yeah, we can see we can still see the notes.
Yeah,
but now we
that's
can
strange.
see the main one. Let me see.
No? Okay, I'll just take my notes off. I don't need them anyway, so. Here? No?
Yeah, if you hit, yeah, the same.
Same? Okay. Just give me a second.
But it's slightly bigger than before.
Okay, all right.
And
Sorry, guys.
guys,
Really sorry
leave
for
in
that.
the comments.
Yeah.
It happens.
Sorry
Leave
for
in the
that.
comments if you all can see, if it's good like this. If it's good like this, we can just move on. I'm trying to see on your screen how you can.
I'll just try
If
this.
you click on presentation, what happens?
What about now?
It worked. It's perfect now.
Perfect. Okay.
Yay.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much. No,
You're
don't
welcome.
worry.
Yeah. So I was talking about my clients, who is very a small company, very who sells human expertise and especially human voices. That's really what you have to keep in mind. So my mission with them is to digitalize your product, because up to a year ago, when I started working in them, they would only be doing radio and they would not do audio digital. So I help them digitalize their products. I help them create new products using using digitalizing the using the internet, like making podcast, making web radios, and advertising on audio digital websites, and all those things that they didn't think of before, because 20 years in radio, they're doing pretty well. They didn't want to disrupt themselves, so that's why I came in and helped them to do that. And the last thing I do with them is to help them automate internal work process using AI. Which is very interesting, because they're really ready to experience things. So that's basically the background to understand where this journey was going. So what happened is that the way I work is that I really embed myself with the clients. So that's how I get to be in a meeting with one of the big clients, which is a French bank. And the meeting was pretty average. One of those meetings that people who work in big companies and in advertising and communication have all the time. So nothing really important came out of the meeting until we were in front of the elevator, and the client was started telling us about the next meeting they're going to, where they had a problem with their newsletter, where they were saying no one is in the internal newsletter wasn't opened, people was not reading it anymore. They had it for years, and it was just they have the opening rate was just declining every month, and they had this problem. So to us, it wasn't really we wasn't really concerned. It had nothing to do with audio. It had nothing to do with advertising. But to me, it was just a client giving us their pain points, which was really important to them, because you could feel that they were really troubled. And as someone with experience in big companies, what I understood is that basically the communication team of that bank was on the grill. They had to find a solution to come into for their internal communication tool to be read, for the news to be able to reach the people inside the company. We're talking about a newsletter that was sent to 12,000 people. And and they basically said, well, if you guys have an idea, we would be ready to listen. So in a little bit with my client, I said, well, I think I have an idea. There's something we could do for them, and they just didn't see what it was, because it was really too far from their field. And the idea was, instead of doing a written newsletter, it was doing an audio newsletter. So in my mind, that audio newsletter was 100% automated, using AI voices, and using AI to scrap the web to get the information, using AI to build the script. It was like any AI and tech person would think, let's do this 100%. It's easy, not that easy, but it's feasible, and it really is a good answer for the client. But I would have some convincing to do, because my client, this small audio ad agency, is a bit reluctant about AI, because their core proposition is, as I said, human expertise, human voices, especially they're really going deep into voices, and they were afraid that selling AI voices would be undermining their expertise. So I had to find a way to put in together what they do is using AI, human voices, and putting together the AI part of the audio newsletter. So we are a bit of a context. We are in March 2023. AI is really trending. Everybody's talking about AI. The ChatGPT effect is really strong. Media is talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. So they are listening. They are interested. They want to see how this could be possible. But at that time, the French AI voices weren't good at all. They sounded very robotic. They were unconvincing. You couldn't use it to make people think that it was a human voice. And they were very concerned about that quality. As it often happens in those cases, you have to make the weakness, you have to turn the weakness into a feature or into a strength. So what I decided to do is to show them that we are going to use the AI as in the state of the art it was at that time, which was very robotic voices, even sometimes even comical, and the way the intonation would come out in French. It wasn't very, you couldn't fake anyone with an AI voice. Even today in French, it's still in that situation, even though it's a lot better now. So the AI voice had to be presented such as an AI voice. It couldn't be presented as a human voice. So what I did, I turned this AI voice into an assistant to a human real voice. So we'd be using a human voice to give away the newsletter information, and it would be helped by an AI assistant. We gave the AI assistant a name. His name is Dario, which is its name is Dario because my client's name is A Radio, so I use the same letters, and so we have a male voice that's Dario and a female voice that's Doria, and its role would be to assist the human speaker. So the winning idea was really a mix of what my client is accustomed of doing, using AI voices to deliver a message for a brand, using human voices, to deliver a message for a brand, and adding an AI voice. But the AI would not only be in the voice, the AI was also in the way we would get the information to put in the newsletter, and also in the way we would build the script. So so AI was used in the background at every level of the creation of the audio newsletter, and which make it economically viable, because if we had to do all this without AI, the audio newsletter would be way too expensive, because the AI is doing the research, the AI is doing the sum up or the resume of all the articles. The AI is building the script for the audio newsletter, and then what we would do after that is just the regular, the traditional way of doing things in audio. We would go into a studio with the human voice, with the host. He would be recorded, and we would add the AI intervention in the recording. So basically, 90% of the time spent on the cost of this audio newsletter is spent in meetings with the bank, because they really need to make sure of what they're saying. There are some information they are ready to give to their employees, but other informations they want to keep, or they want to keep for later, or they have internal information they want to give. So it's difficult to have something that is automatic. It really has to go through a lot of it has to go through the legal service of the bank. Head of communication have to see exactly what is going to be said. There's a lot of thing happening inside the bank that just slow down the process. But getting the information and building the script is made entirely by AI, and it really goes very quickly. I could show you the workflow. So the workflow is, as I said, the data collection. For this, I use Perplexity AI because it was already at the time the best tool to get information. So we would it's a monthly newsletter. So every month we would have a specific topics that the bank would want to talk about. So I would set up Perplexity to go and get information on those specific topics. Then we would use ChatGPT to create the content from these topics, and a tool called Lovo AI. It's not a very known tool. It's like 11 Labs to do text to speech. It is not the best one around. It's not as good as 11 Labs. But again, we wanted an AI voice that really sounded like an AI voice. It sounded robotic. It didn't sound like a human at all. So it's weird, but I chose I didn't choose the best tool around. I chose a tool that gives an AI voice that's very, very, very AI and not human at all. And then once we have all this ready, we would go into studio and record the human voice and the final product. I will try to give you. I'll try to give you. Sorry, the an extra of an next just a taste of it. So it's in French. What you're going to hear is first you're going to hear a female voice, which is the jingle, the presentation, just saying welcome to your audio newsletter. And then you would have the human host saying hello and saying hello to his AI assistant, and then you'll hear the AI assistant, and it will the podcast is around 4 minutes, 5 minutes long. I call it a podcast because at the end, that's what it is. We present it as a audio newsletter, but in fact, it's basically a very short podcast. That's the closest of what that's already on the market. So here you go. I'm sorry for the French, but you need to know what it is. So yeah, so I hope you could hear the difference between the human voice and the AI voice. And we pushed our logic to the limit. The AI is not the one who has the answers. The AI is the one who is going to ask the questions. So it's really a answer and question thing that's going on, which makes it easy to go from one topic to the other. So the AI will be asking questions, and the human will be answering using the news and giving the name of the article or the media from which this information is coming from, as you would get in any newsletter. And it's a success because the result is that it went from a newsletter that nobody was opening anymore, from an audio newsletter that teams around France in that company would be using every month to open their meetings. They would be listening to the newsletter, which gives them internal information and market information, and then they would be able to discuss about those information. So a lot of managers in the bank are using this audio newsletter as almost as an icebreaker in their meetings. So we sorry. So we it was the idea was really here to show you that my first idea was a fully automated newsletter, which is possible. For those of you who are following closely the AI news, you see what Notebook LM is doing. You put in a PDF and it will give you a podcast talking about this PDF. So it basically what could be done today instead of this newsletter. But this would not happen because in Notebook LM, you have no there's no way you can personalize what the two people are talking about, the two AI voices. So for those who don't know, on Notebook LM, you put in a PDF and it will create an audio discussion, a discussion between two AI about the content of your PDF. But you cannot edit it. You cannot choose what they are going to say. It's really basically Google doing everything for you. So that's not a solution for most business because they will need to personalize what the AI is saying. So the next step here is really to try to make my client go full AI, which is difficult for them to do, even though they really know that if they don't do it, somebody else will do it in their place. But it's difficult for them to be going from 20 years of using AI, human voices to be replacing those human voices by AI voices. They don't want to do it. even though they know at some point it will be possible. So someone will be doing it. But from the experience we have with that first big bank, what we realize is that the full automation, it's going to be very difficult for most big companies, because you really have to go and tailor and edit and tailor what is said. I mean, really, the legal team is going word to word and changing sometimes just one slight word for what sounds to outsiders as a random reason. But the truth is that they are really very, very careful on what they are saying and how they are saying it, especially in internal communications. So I don't think that it's going to be possible to have a standalone product that will be useful for those big companies. They would always need a way of really trying to get the details of what's going to be said and change what's going to be said. So the script that is made by ChatGPT, for example, is just a first draft, of what is going to be at the end. There is a lot of human intervention in what is going to be said in the audio newsletter. So that is something to keep in mind. So really, what I try to show you here is that the tech wasn't the big issue. The big issue was understanding my clients' culture, which is that they sell human voices, and they could not replace those voices by AI completely. It had to be something that look like what they are doing already, because everybody's watching. I mean, the first studio session with the human, with his name is Olivier. It was like, yeah, but the next step is you're going to replace my voice by an AI voice, so there is really a threat of replacing humans by AI, but at least for the companies with which I work, that's not what they want to do. They really want to use AI to build something different, something they couldn't do before, and they don't want to just replace humans with AI, because they are not doing this job for no reason. They want to be working with human beings. That's what they like. It's it's based on relations and humans. So nobody is interested in this field by working in front of a screen with AI tools and forgetting everything about the humans. So I hope I was clear with this presentation, that you understood what I was trying to say. What I'm really trying to say is that AI for now is not something that can only be used to do things faster, but it's also, I think, especially made to be used to do new things that you couldn't do before. So I'm ready to answer your questions now.
Hello, it was
Hello.
awesome listening to you, explaining everything and telling the background of all
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
We do have a question here that is selling with video. Do you communicate to the people that is, sorry, the message went up.
No problem.
How do you communicate to the people that is an audio newsletter instead of text only? How do you get them to open?
Oh, they receive an email. So basically, they will receive an email with a link to an MP3 or an MP3. The MP3 is just in the attached file in the email. In fact, we create an image, and that's always the same image for the newsletter. Just the number of the newsletter changes, the audio newsletter changes, and when they click on it, the audio file will just launch. That's how it
Oh,
works.
got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, pretty easy. Yeah.
Awesome. So the open rate can still be the same. It's not like you have to beg for people to open because there's the audio inside. They're
No,
gonna
yeah,
open anyway, and the
they,
plus is there's the
yeah,
audio inside.
exactly. And it's really just it's really marketed so it's a big like I should show you one of the pictures. They already receive an email with just one big picture.
Uh-huh.
And they have there's a button they have to click on, and the
Yes.
audio file just launches.
Awesome.
Mm.
The fast track mind says that we could not hear the voice and the audio, that you said that
Oh,
it was in
sorry.
French. It
Oh,
was,
sorry.
I think it's
Uh,
something with the sharing the screen. It is not
yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to reproduce voice
Okay,
messages and audios in general. But how
okay.
can people find it? Is there any way that
Uh,
they can access to listen? What do you think?
oh, I will what I will do, I'll put it on my website. There's a website. It's just my
Great.
name.com, LEEROY.com.
Mhm.
I'll put an example on my website. Well, it's in French. If there are French listeners, it would be interesting. Otherwise, it's just and the subject is it's about finance and loans and inflation and so it's not
They can
very
learn French and
yeah, okay.
understand. The person who asked about how to make people open also asked that they still must open. How do you tell them
Yeah.
that it's something new?
So the first time they send it, they really made an email before sending it, telling people we replace the newsletter, the traditional newsletter, and we'll be sending you an audio news, and we would be interested to have your feedbacks and things like that. So so people opened it the first time, and the feedback was pretty good. In fact, we really try to create a dynamic between the AI voice and the human host. They would be teasing each other. It has a very they have fun of each other and things like that. So we try to give the AI voice a character. He has he's always doing strange things and talking about strange things, having some kind of strange ideas sometimes. So it's not the most fun thing because it's a bank and it's internal communication, so it's very serious. But we try to give it something a bit more something that could make people smile at least once or twice
Yeah.
during the 4 minutes. And it seems to work, because when we don't do it, sometimes we don't have I don't get an idea. ChatGPT is not good enough for humor yet, but
Yes.
so I do that on my own, and sometimes I just have no inspiration, so it's just a plain thing and nothing happens. So every time but nothing happens. What about Dario? What's Dario fun thing today? So we always try to find something.
Yes, that's pretty important because
Mm.
otherwise it gets boring and you're
Yeah,
like, no, we need some touch,
yeah,
some
some yeah,
sparkle.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And you
yeah,
can play a lot with the subject line as well. Like he
yeah,
was asking how make people open. The
yeah,
subject line is what gonna make people open. So
yeah.
make sure you use good keywords on the subject line
Mhm.
to make people
Exactly.
understand. And also in the pre-header, because honestly for
Mhm.
me, I not only check
Mhm.
the subject line, I check the pre-header. There's like, oh, this email you can find promotional materials. So
Mhm.
explore this more, and people are gonna be fascinated,
Yeah,
like we are
exactly.
here.
So what they do most of the time is that they would put in the subject line, they would put something about the new product they have, the internal new product they have. So obviously people are interested of, okay, we have something new to sell, something new to present
Yes.
to our clients. So they would click on it, and they would wait to get that information, and we'll give them all the others that we want. So
Yeah.
the opening rate is above 75%. So
Great.
it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Uh-huh. Yes. And like once you build the community, you can
Mhm.
also like play with emojis, for example. Like once people already know what they're gonna find inside
Mhm.
of the newsletter, you always when there's like a voice, audio inside, you can use a headphone emoji. So people like
Yeah,
when they see bunch of emails, they're like, oh, that one is the one that I like. I'm gonna
exactly.
click
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's it. That's
There's a
exactly
lot
that.
that we can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have another question here from Olina. How much time can it take to create such a newsletter?
Well, the if I take out all the time we spending in meetings with the bank, which is a long time, it's really it's really interesting to see how they choose the subjects and how they turn around, how they do wording and things like
Yes.
that. If I take that time out, well, I would say it takes an hour. Yeah,
Oh,
because
pretty fast.
yeah, it's pretty fast. Yeah, the and it's in fact I created a you know the GPTs. I have a GPT that would basically take all the notes of those different meetings, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, all the um, all the sum ups of the articles we want to use, and then basically create the script of the output the script of the audio newsletter. So the first time it was a bit long, the second time a bit shorter,
Yes.
because and then as I gave to ChatGPT the example of the previous newsletters, the
Mm-hmm.
output was now it's almost perfect. I don't have really anything to change in the output right now.
Yeah.
The changes are made after by legal team and things like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then
once
there
the
is the
prompt is
yeah.
ready, sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Once the prompt is exactly what you said. Once the prompt is ready,
Mm-hmm.
it's really quick, and the prompt and the output is better every time we can give it more example of what we want.
Yes.
So now it's going to be, I think, the 13th newsletter. So it's really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know
Oh,
exactly how
yeah.
what the length is good. The length is good. The exchange between the two is very is good. Yeah, I don't have a lot of
That's
changes
great.
to make. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
turn in the AI voice, which name is Dario into from text to speech. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't take long either. It's not automated. Yeah, I didn't automate. It's not automated yet. So I just basically just I would just pass the text into a Lovo or Jenny. Maybe people know Lovo on the name of Jenny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then it would and then it would turn into a voice. So it's pretty quick. In fact, it's even the old-fashioned studio recording is pretty quick because we are
Yeah.
dealing with a professional. So his part is basically it takes half an hour just to make this 5 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really quick. And then there is
yeah.
the post-production behind that's a bit longer because there's you didn't hear
Mm-hmm.
it, sorry, but there is some music and things like that. So, you have to
Uh-huh.
put it, you have to stitch the AI voice to the human voice and things. So
Mm-hmm.
it's probably, I think altogether, once again, without those meetings with the banks, it's probably two
Yeah.
hours and a half to make this audio newsletter. If
Mm-hmm.
it was 100% AI, what it would be 45 minutes, I think, 45 minutes to 1
Mm-hmm.
hour. uh,
Yes.
which which really makes this thing viable because if we had to do it without AI, it wouldn't make sense. Just
Mm-hmm.
there are tools to scrap the web for the information you have. There are services that
Yes.
will give you the articles that you're looking for on the topic you're looking for and things like that. But still, you have to go through those articles and select the one you want, then make a resume, a sum up of each article, and then make a script. That's a lot of hours, and so it
Yeah.
could be it could be expensive. It wouldn't make sense without AI. In fact, nobody did it before.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
You said it all. Like no one did
yeah.
it before because it was
No,
too
no.
long.
Yeah, it was too long. Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah,
And it's
and
good that we
really,
have tools now.
yeah. So it's something that could be really that could be automated. That could be a service for some companies. I think I think people could use it as a to replace their existing newsletter because
Mm-hmm.
the nice thing with audio is that it's it's multitask. You can be listening to
Yes.
your newsletter for 4 minutes while doing something else. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
reading that newsletter is just you're gonna do anything else. You're just reading the newsletter. So I
Yeah.
think it has a future. So
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
like you include more people because,
yeah.
if it's just text, you're excluding a lot of people that
Mhm.
cannot read your email. So
Exactly.
once
Mm,
you have the audio, you're
mm.
also including a great part of
Yeah,
the everyone.
yeah,
So there's
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
this amazing
yeah,
part of it.
yeah, yeah. And it really opens
Everyone
the
should
doors.
have
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And it really opens the door to a whole new things. You can imagine having every
Mm-hmm.
morning your personalized audio news. you know,
Yeah.
with the topics you like, you know, which, you know, people in France, I don't know, in France listen to the radio in the morning for the news. You could have your own, you know, personalized radio news every
Yeah.
morning. Going to work, you know, for those who still are going to work.
Yes. And with
So yeah,
that, like that company that you love showing this
exactly.
to you, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on your phone, you know, so
yeah,
easier. You can
yeah,
put your headphones, take the bus, take the subway,
yeah, yeah,
and go
exactly.
to work.
Yeah, and go to work. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things coming on with audio. Audio is really one of the big topics in AI. There's a lot to do. Working on a web radio, an AI web radio, 100% AI,
Oh,
AI
awesome.
music, AI host, everything AI.
Yeah,
Just
everything.
yeah, everything. Yeah, just to show what could be done. You know,
Yeah.
just to show to the industry what's possible right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And something that I think it's very important that you mentioned is
Mm,
right now, a lot of people are afraid of AI.
yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take my job. No.
Mhm.
And I love that you mentioned this, that like it's not gonna take your job, it's gonna
No.
help you to
Yeah.
perform better
Yeah.
and stop doing tasks that are like
Mhm.
takes
Yeah.
too long
Yeah.
of time.
Too
Like you
long.
can
Yeah.
put AI, you're still gonna have a work, and hopefully in the future, in the near future, we're gonna have a better work balance of like
Mhm.
having a life, working less. And AI,
Exactly.
I truly
Yeah.
believe it's here for Ed to help us to have a better
Yeah.
life.
I totally agree. I think we're going to be doing the real human stuff. You know, AI
Uh-huh.
is going to take care of the techniques, and we're going to take care of the relationship, which is what we're made
Yes.
for. You know,
Uh-huh,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's and also create new things that we couldn't do before
Mm-hmm.
because it would be too
Yeah.
expensive, too complicated, too
Mm-hmm.
you know, too much technique involved, you know. But
Yeah.
with AI, you could definitely try things and try and fail and try and you know
Mm-hmm. Yes.
that's where I see the the real positive side of it. That's for today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in 2 years
Yeah.
what's gonna be what
Yeah.
it's gonna be because it's going very fast. Maybe at some point it's gonna be so powerful that we're gonna have to say, "Oh, listen, we need to slow down things," but we're not there yet. You know?
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
thing. We are
yeah,
not, even if something
yeah.
happened, we are not there yet.
No,
We
no,
should
no.
relax a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we're so anxious right now and how
Hmm.
the world is going. We're
Hmm.
always anxious. We always like are anticipating things. And
Yeah,
that's it. Like let's just slow down. It's
yeah,
fine. For now,
yeah.
let's take advantage of it. Like the
Exactly.
time that we did not have to think about it, now we
Hmm.
can think. Now we can
Yeah,
like we can create, you
yeah,
know? So
yeah.
yeah, that's a
Exactly. That's
very
it. Yeah,
valuable
yeah, yeah,
reason.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it
So
was awesome chatting with you, especially
thank
this
you,
last time
Lenka.
that we were able to like exchange things. It was amazing. Thank you so much for your experience, for
No
everything that you
problem.
said. And everyone here in the comments, they want to listen. They're like, I want to listen. So
Okay,
once
let me
you
try. Let me try something else. I'll try. I'll try.
uh-huh,
Just give me a second.
uh-huh.
I'll. Oh, that's too bad.
Everyone is like,
Uh,
what is
yeah.
that?
That's um. Where is it?
Since it's something new, people really want to see. But like, if it doesn't work, they can go
No, no,
to
it's
your
no. Yeah,
website.
yeah. But I think I could at least try to make you hear it through the
Uh-huh.
microphone. Um,
People are
give me
saying
one.
here that you need to share the audio from your computer.
Okay,
Oh, we could hear.
you can hear. Okay.
I think so. I could listen to something.
Crédit Conso, la chronique.
Bonjour et bonne année à tous. Bienvenue sur Crédit Conso, la chronique. Je suis votre animateur Olivier, accompagné de Dario, mon assistant IA. Bonjour Dario.
Bonne année à tous, bonjour Olivier. Aujourd'hui, on fait le bilan. Nous avions évoqué courant 2023 que LBPCF tirait son épingle du jeu. Est-ce toujours le cas?
Oui, tout à fait. Sur le marché, LBPCF se démarque avec un recul de seulement 3%, alors qu'une baisse des prêts personnels a été constatée sur l'année 2023. Environ moins 25% chez les spécialistes et moins 10% pour les établissements bancaires par rapport à 2022. Ça, c'est
So did you hear it?
Yes, it was awesome.
correct.
Everybody was like, "Yay, thank you."
I just can't stop
And
it
like
now.
you mentioned, there's the background music as well, so it really gives a touch.
I'm not hearing you,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
Because
it's
I
okay.
pressing something. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that
Okay.
it also has the background music, so there's a touch, like you mentioned. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing, and thank you for sharing again. People are happy. I'm happy. Everyone's happy.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So
Thank
you
you
can find me
so
on
much.
LinkedIn. You know, I'll answer to any questions. I like sharing, like a lot of people that came here today.
Awesome. I'm gonna
Yeah.
connect with you after the
Okay.
conference.
All right. Bye.